Hello Peaches, so today I'm going to show you how I made this really cool book table slash lamp. It's just perfect for when you're reading and you can place, some snacks and a little glass of water or something and then your book on it. And I used this lamp that I already had. I think it's bought in IKEA or something, I'm not sure. But I'm going to start with screwing off the top part. And you do need the entire lamp, but I'm going to start off with screwing off the top part so that I can work with the bottom first. You don't have to use this particular lamp, you can definitely use any kind of lamp where you can take it apart like this. Then you're going to take some book that you don't mind ruining. The only book I had that I didn't care about was the Bible, so, well, I'm going to ruin it. Sorry to anyone if they get offended. But I'm just going to use some Mod Podge glue and glue on the pages onto the bottom, because that way it will look really cool and with like books and stuff. I don't know, I just thought it would look cool and you'll see how cool it looks in the end. And just put the Mod Podge everywhere and the pages everywhere, and then of course give it another layer of Mod Podge on top of everything once you are done with putting on the pages. I also, after adding like the big pieces of paper, I added some small pieces, some small rib pieces, just because I thought it would look cool. Then it's time for books, and I was so lucky. I found 20 books, which is all I have to use, in the thrift store, extremely cheap. Like, it was $1 for all these books. Seriously, that is fucking cheap. Anyway, you're just going to paint them the way you want. If you want to keep them how they are, that's totally cool. I decided to paint them black on the outside, just because I want it to be like kind of gothic and have a gothic vibe to it. And while I'm painting the books here, I just want to say that I was inspired to do this by a YouTube series kind of that is called Gothic Homemaking. I will leave the link in the description down below. It's just amazing, a lot of DIY crafty. It's really fun. Even if you don't want to watch it for the crafty part, you still have to watch it because it's really fun and gothic and amazing. Each episode is 20 minutes long, and so far I think there's 9 episodes, and they're all really great for, for fun, but also for giving you ideas on, how to do some really creative gothic stuff. So the link is in the description for that series. Anyway, I decided to paint the pages this blood red. I just mixed some red with some brown and a little bit of gold to give it some shine. So I painted 8 of the books that color. And then I added a little bit more brown paint into the mixture and painted 7 of the books with that, so it's a little bit darker. And then I've added a little bit more brown and painted the rest of the books with that color. Just, it's not really something you notice that much, but it just still gives it a teeny tiny bit difference and a little bit more fun and, I guess, diversity in a way. And I'm using acrylic paint for all of this, by the way. Then I drilled a hole in the books, and I didn't film it because I did it at my mom's house because she has a drill. And I just drilled through the books. I measured how thick the hole would have to be for the stick to go through it, the stick that was on the lamp that you saw before. And you just have to do that. And I know the books look really shitty now because, when I had to drill, everything was kind of scraped off, but that is okay, you can totally fix that afterwards. I decided not to fix it, but I'll show you that later. And then my mom had this perfect piece of wood for the tabletop. If you don't have this perfect piece of wood laying around, it's really easy to just take any piece of wood and round it or make it square if you want to do that. I was just really lucky that my mom had this already laying around. Now you're just going to put together some of the lamp, only some of it. The bottom part, which we already glued the Bible on, and then the stick that's going to be in the middle. If your lamp is anything like mine, you just have to screw it on, it's really easy. And then you're just going to slide down the books on top of it. And the first book, I decided to use some glue just to make sure that the bottom was stabilized and that everything was in place. And then after that, I just put on every single book. And you can put them however you want. I decided to make them a little bit like funny, a little bit to the sides, not perfect, but if you want to make them completely perfect and in line with each other, you can totally do that as well. So for the next part, I'm going to use this little ring to put over it. You only want to leave a little bit of the top, at least for the lamp I use. It is very different with what kind of lamp you use, so you just have to make it work. But I put this on top so that everything will be pressed together, and then I screwed on the top part of the lamp so that everything was really pressed together, so that way the table wouldn't be too wobbly. It's still a little bit wobbly, but it's not too much, and it's perfect. And then you're just going to put together the lamp, and again, it's very different from what kind of lamp you have, but just try and make it work with what you have. And there's a few places where the black paint has chipped off, but I decided not to paint that because I actually think it looks kind of cool to be kind of messy and ruined, but you know, you can always paint it if you don't like it. And then you're done, or I'm done. Look at this, how awesome is that? I really love this. This is perfect size for just a book and a glass of something and a little snack. And then you have the lamp, which is just perfect as a reading light, at least the lamp I have. So it's really nice. I placed it beside my couch just because it will look cool, and that's usually where I read. And I think it's really nice to finally have a lamp that I can use for reading. So it's not just the big lamp I have on the ceiling. Now I actually have a reading lamp and table all in one, and I love it so much. Press the like button if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and thank you so much for watching.